The nonprofit sector in America is astoundingly large. In 2013, the total economic base of America's nonprofit sector was $2.39 trillion. So if the nonprofit sector was a country, it would be ranked right after the country of Italy in terms of size. That's pretty big. We have become more and more reliant on the nonprofit sector to deliver those human services, the basic services, as well as to be there for whether it's church, whether it's community, whether it's for the arts. The nonprofit plays a role in all sectors of society. Number one, it's a growing sector. Number two, Americans are relying more and more and more on basic human services provided by the nonprofit sector. The other macro trend we see is that we know from statistical analysis that it is estimated by a number of different sources, but this one in particular, that right now there's approximately 600,000 executive directors who are on a stage of retirement. Keep in mind, there are 10,000 people a day retiring, reaching the retirement age and saying, that's it, I've run the race, if you will. So behind that is a vacuum, because what we see is a knowledge drain. You often see executive directors in their role 15, 20, 30 years. It's not uncommon. And when that executive director leaves, potentially they take with them that knowledge base to run what I would refer to in the nonprofit sector is the nonprofit enterprise. So you've got a growing reliance on the nonprofit sector, about $2.39 trillion as an economic base. And then you have well over 600,000 executive directors who are retiring. So the question is, how do we prepare the nonprofit executive to not only survive and to not only thrive, but to take that enterprise to a whole new level of quality, to a whole new level of productivity, and a whole new level of what I would call added value in terms of the people that they serve. With 10,000 people retiring daily across America, we're at a workforce shortage in America. And there are sectors that have done a good job of preparing their staff for eventual leaderships roles. They tend to be non-government organizations or NGOs. They tend to be larger organizations within their particular industry. But we're at a critical point in America with the nonprofit sector that we really have to advance a call to our nation that our foundation community, our institutions of higher learning, as well as our nonprofit sector have to come together to look at this national concern about how are we preparing the next generation of leaders. Now, this is solvable. There's much we can do, and there are leadership frames that can make a difference. There are many different types, but the point being is that if we do not come together right now, that we put at risk an erosion of that nonprofit enterprise. We put at risk erosion for people who rely day in and day out on that nonprofit organization for services, at risk that people may not get their needs met. And so, that's a fundamental issue. I think right now it is about a call to lead. At the same time, it is a national concern about the growing gap in people who are prepared, as well as the severe workforce shortage that we are entering into in terms of the next generation of how do we address these issues.